And we're live. Let's see here. Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Doing all right. So I figured out a little hack with my asthma.
Oh, good.
So if I speak in this tone of voice, if I just deepen my voice, I no longer have coughing fits.
Oh, nice.
It's
I figured out my trick was smoking, ironically. I
uh,
don't know
uh
why, but it makes it so that I don't cough. And then I cough a lot more later. So,
what's interesting. So yeah, okay. If I like, there was a point where I had something like this, but it was really, really bad, and I went to hookah like an idiot. But after I did hookah, it was gone,
I
like
love
for
it.
forever. It was gone for months.
Yeah, I've
Asthma
got
was
two of
just
them.
gone,
It,
dude.
I
Oh
don't know
my
if it's
god,
the water vapor or what, but like I found that those help a lot too.
dude. The only reason why I'm not doing hookah every day or every other day is because I have children and I don't want them to see it. I,
I,
and I
I,
don't want them around the tobacco. I don't want them around any of that stuff.
yeah, I actually got two hookahs specifically because I've used them in the past to quit smoking. And my
Mm.
wife had a fit. She was not happy about it. And then she had friends that came
Why?
over. Well, she thought it was basically like, oh, that's even worse. You're instead of outside smoking a cigarette for a second, you're sitting out there for 30 minutes with a hookah. And I was like, no, I think this is actually this. It actually is very helpful for me. It cuts back on the
Yeah.
cigarettes a ton. And then she had a
Yes.
friend that came over that was like, "Oh my god, you got a hookah? Let's see." And she was like, "Can you set up the hookah like every night that week or whatever?"
Of
Hit the
course. Of course. Of course.
There we
Yeah.
go. I like that better. Sorry.
Same.
If if it sounds, does it sound okay? Because
The
I
sound is
realized
good. Everything is good.
okay,
Yeah.
I left my
Everything's
headphones
fine,
in the
man.
car, and so I'm just running off the phone, so I didn't know if that was going to be a problem or not.
No, no,
But
no. There's no issue. Hey, what's up, Laughing Truth? Hey, War on Fud. Are you familiar with Laughing Truth?
yes, he's
Really good
helping with
stuff.
some of the design. Yeah,
Oh my God, he is.
yeah,
Oh, that's
he figured out a
wonderful.
better way for us to do the variable tax.
Holy crap, guys! Give of course War on Fud, but also give Laughing Truth a follow. He says some really deep, insightful, positive, life affirming
Yes,
stuff. Like if someone is ever feeling suicidal, they should just visit Laughing Truth's page.
that's a good call, man. Can you
You
hand me one
know.
of those? All right. So I told you I'd let you in on what we're doing.
Yes. So I didn't provide a lot of details on your token. I won't say the name of the token. I'm just gonna let you guide me with what information. See, as soon as I start like letting go on the clamp on my voice, that's when the cough happens. But if I keep
Yeah.
a deep voice like this, for some reason, the asthma is at bay.
Well, that's good. I'm glad it's at bay. Because I have the same
Yeah.
thing, man. I had asthma as a kid, and like as an adult, they kind of got less severe. But I've had basically a coughing fits my entire life.
It's annoying, man.
Oh, I
Oh,
know.
how do we record this? Oh, well, actually, sorry, TikTok auto records. I have one
Yeah,
question. Dev.eth, why are you so sad?
me.
Sorry. No, someone named Dev.eth just wrote that he's or she is so sad.
Oh,
So I'm just curious. I hope it's something crypto related and not like, something that can really, you know, harm someone's way of. Oh, someone makes them so. Okay, someone makes you so sad. I don't know who this they is though. Oh, NFT related. I understand. Okay, so talk to me. War on Fud. All right, so everyone, I'm giving War on Fud the floor. So I'm not gonna answer any questions like I normally do. I'm literally just gonna let him talk, and maybe I'll ask some questions and I'll check for some relevant questions in the comments. But any price predictions or anything like that, any reference to other cryptos, I'm not going to answer it. I'm only going to answer or ask him your questions if it's related to his project.
All right. So, so the general idea is that I was looking at the BSC space in particular, which is kind of the most volatile space. And so that's where we're going to be starting intentionally because it's so volatile. And the idea was that we wanted to look at how we could help projects gain stability. So we had an idea originally around an index token used for project launches to help them establish a floor. And that contract, though, was pretty complicated. And so we kind of rolled back to try to see, well, what's a simpler model to basically use to get the same type of benefit? And we were doing this off of the existing model of how call groups work. So this all started basically because I had a friend reach out and said, hey, I want to start a call group. Are you in? And I basically said, that is the worst thing imaginable. Yes, let's do it.
All right.
So the idea was, let's figure out a better way. But then let's also kind of expose the negative behavior that's happening behind the scenes so that we can try to enforce kind of why our system is a little better. And so the general idea was that we wanted to create a token so currently in call groups, how they really work, a lot of these is a project reaches out to them to gain exposure on their group. And so they pay them. Now, the call group, though, pretty much normally just takes a portion of that funds, a very, very tiny portion of that, and kind of throws it out like chicken feed to their audience, just to build a bigger audience so that they can charge more on the next call. And then they take another portion, which is typically larger, and they buy the project that they're calling. They then call the project that they're calling and take profits. Now, by basically taking profits after you've performed a call, the only additional revenue that's been brought into the ecosystem is from your own audience. So these guys are stealing from their own audience, and they're being applauded for it, which is insane.
So they pretty much. So let me make sure I understand this. So you're telling me that these people in the call groups, they get money, they sprinkle a little bit of that money, guys, to the audience, and then the audience, they're like, okay, yes, they buy it. They buy, they buy based on this information, and then those same people in the call groups, the same people in the call groups, once the price goes up, they take profits.
Yes.
Is that? Oh my God. And what was that noise, by the way? What was that? I wanted to get the train of thought through. What just happened? Was like an angry chicken in your room or something? Because I heard.
It was my daughter and my son basically understanding that something professional is going on. So you probably shouldn't be interrupting this. And then them fighting off the screen. So
love it.
Yeah, me too. And frankly, not all of them are even hiding this. They'll admit to basically being into these projects and taking profit and saying, oh, well, of course, everyone should take profit and stuff. But I still think it's disgusting that you're taking profit from your own audience.
Yeah, it's repulsive. And I just want to say, Crypto Sage just gave me 65 roses. Do you want like foot pics or something? Is there anything I could do in return?
The roses are popping up on my screen as well.
Like, wait. Well, what about this? Like, if you want to look, I mean, like, just there you go. Okay. War on FUD. Back to the serious stuff. Okay, dude. So you just introduced. Oh gosh, now I'm getting more roses. You just introduced me to this whole concept of what call groups do. Holy cow! And so that's just a thing, and they get lauded for it.
Oh, and
it's a laudable thing.
The money that these guys are pulling in though is insane. It's literally disgusting. I mean, so Meta Santa paid 12 BNB for a call with Caesar. And it was stupid. It was a 30-minute phone call. Anyone could have done this fucking thing. It was just a joke. It wasn't even, they weren't giving you anything to the project. They weren't benefiting the project at all. It was I mean, it's really kind of disgusting. But the what we decided is, look, what if we basically,
Thank
so
you, Dustin.
originally the plan was,
Yeah.
what if we took some of their the revenue and we did the same thing they're doing and buy the token, but we buy
Yeah.
it through a contract that works as an index. So that was kind of the original plan. We're still
Okay.
going to do that in the future as a separate product offering. But we found a simpler way of handling it was
Mm-hmm.
basically, what if we just gave our community the
Mm-hmm.
ability to gain value from our own revenue generation, allowing them to participate in what we're doing. So the idea was that we take 50% right off the top before any expenses, and we basically send that to our contract for our token. And so
Okay.
what this does is this creates what I call an asset pool.
Yeah.
And so the idea is that for your token, you actually have an option now on how you want to liquidate your token and get value out of it. You can either dip into the asset pool or you can go to the LP and do normal trading behavior. So
Mm-hmm.
what this does is the asset pool should almost always be below the price of the LP. And so the asset pool becomes an intrinsic value for the token. It's literally
Okay.
backed by the value that's stored in the asset pool. And
Okay.
so that is the value of the physical object, the
Yeah.
token.
Yeah.
What you're trading is basically futures on that object. So you're
Okay.
trading both the past revenue that's filled the asset pool as
Yeah.
well as what you think the future revenue will be,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And so what we do is we modified the burn function
Okay.
so that anyone can
Yeah.
literally just take your tokens and send
Yeah.
them to the burn wallet.
And if they send their tokens of your token to the burn wallet, you get, like,
It
they get BNB.
it takes the value from the asset pool and
Yeah.
distributes it to you, because that is the intrinsic value of the token that's literally backed. So if you're saying, "Hey, I'm out. I want to leave," you can literally just burn your tokens and pull the value out. Now,
Wow.
why would you do that if the LP price is higher? You'd sell it on the
Yeah.
open market, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so if the LP price ever drops down below the asset floor price, it creates a natural arbitrage opportunity for anyone
Mm-hmm.
to simply buy and then burn the tokens for more than they bought them for,
Yes. That makes
which
sense. Okay.
forces the chart back up above the
Yeah.
asset floor. So it creates a
Whoa, whoa. Sorry. It's
stable
just a lot of
floor.
information. Let me just make sure I process that. So let's say the price of their token in the LP goes down. They can, and then when that happens, explain it again. They can take it out, and it
If
burns, and then they get their value
if the
back, right?
price goes down below so if the LP price is below the asset floor price, you
Yeah.
could burn your tokens for the asset price if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But anyone could literally buy the tokens and burn
Yeah.
them for more than they bought them for.
Yeah. Yes.
And by
Okay.
doing
I see
so,
that.
they actually reduce the circulating supply and force the chart back up.
Whoa. I don't know why, but I'm getting Luna vibes. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Luna
Now,
is all pegged around keeping a stable coin, and Luna is burned in order to maintain the peg of the UST, from what I understand. That's really interesting.
now I don't think that we'll be burning much though, because
Yeah.
once you recognize that there's a steady income flow, and we will be
Yes.
attaching more revenue flows over time
Yeah.
to the token, it basically means that it'd be silly for the liquidity pool price to even get close to the asset floor. So
Yep.
we're
Yeah.
actually
It'll just
also
keep
looking at
the
mechanisms.
liquidity higher.
Yeah. And so what we're actually doing is we're trying to look at mechanisms to keep those in line, because we're actually worried that the chart will go too high and go away from the asset floor. And we want it to be relatively close because of what we'll be bringing next. Because what we can do next with this is actually build in a function that allows you to stake your tokens, to lock them, and
Yes.
pull the asset floor value out from yourself. So think of it more like dipping into your 401k.
Yeah.
And so you're loaning your own value to yourself. And so we're not going to charge you interest. Why would we do that? It's your own money. But we will force you to set payment terms. So
Okay.
what we do is we basically say, you have to set your own payment terms for when you're going to pay back, and you can
Yeah.
default on your own loan. And if you default on your own loan, all we do is those tokens that are locked are still generating value. So they're still climbing in value that you have no access to. So you have to pay back your loan in order to get the access to it. Or if you default on your loan, what we do is we take a portion of the tokens that you've locked, enough to
Mm-hmm.
cover the loan, plus
Mm-hmm.
like 5% or so, and
Mm-hmm.
we burn them. So you don't have to pay back the loan, you just have to burn your asset, which is the access to the value. And
Wow.
so then what that does is it means that anyone who defaults on their loan
Yeah.
actually increases the future value, the
Yeah.
future's percentage of everyone's tokens who didn't default on their loans. So good actors in the
And it
network
creates the
get
value
increased
if I
value over
hold on.
time.
And now it creates more value if they default because of the burn, right?
Yes. So
That's yeah.
every time someone burns their tokens, every other token that wasn't burned increases its percentage of the
Yeah.
future revenue
Yeah.
coming in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, we also have a bit of an interesting concept in there, that is a bit hidden, um, because there's an asset pool,
Yeah.
right? And we also have a rewards
That was
pool.
my old stripper name.
We also have a rewards pool that's
Yeah.
funded through tax.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
when you burn, what the rules do is actually look to the rewards pool first to
Yeah.
see if it can pay out of there. And if it does, it pays out of there without touching the asset pool,
Okay.
which means
Okay.
that everyone's token now becomes more valuable from a past perspective as well.
Wow. Okay. All right.
And so
That's
the thing that's crazy about what we're really doing, though, is that because we're partnering with Tokify, and anyone will be able to spin up a token like this with the few pushes of a button. And then all
can
they
I
need to
just
do.
I just want to add. So Laughing Truth has said this isn't stablecoin, this is insurance hedge. And then he said this is no different than a margin call, so I don't think any tokens will be burned. So
Yes,
I
I
don't know
actually
anything.
I don't think the tokens will be burned either. I mean,
Okay.
as long as people are basically following the rules that we've set out, they probably won't burn them.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
I
And I
do
think I
think that at
understand
the
now.
beginning of this,
Laughing Truth, I think he was talking about it's not a stable coin, it's an insurance hedge because I was talking
yes,
about Luna keeping it. Okay,
it's
but you're
far
not.
more
I
like
know.
an insurance hedge.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
basically building in the insurance protocol for
Yeah.
the holders to protect them.
Yeah. That's
So
okay.
you could have a version of this token that is only tax-based, no revenue coming in, except for the revenue from the trading, right?
Yes.
And what my theory is that what you would see is if a project, and that's how projects launch today, like a rewards token or something.
Yeah.
You could have people running these projects like that with this.
Mm-hmm.
And if the project dies,
Mm-hmm.
what you'll get is an event that I'm calling a burn off, where
Okay.
basically the project fluctuates, and then you see these projects all the time. Then they eventually hit a point where they just flatline and everyone's holding.
Yeah. Yes.
And what you would get is basically people just saying, okay, the project's dead. Let's just burn off all the tokens and walk away. And
Yes.
everyone walks away with something that way. So you get a dead project that basically the people that held the longest, the people that like really stuck with you, especially if they were in from the beginning, probably will walk away with more than they put in from a dead project.
Is there anything I've never heard about anything remotely close to this? And I
Neither have I.
did.
I don't know why.
I
It seems like the most logical solution to a problem that's been so rampant that everyone's complaining about. And it's like, look, so what? That's why we're doing this with Tokify, because we want this to become a standard. This is not something that we're trying to hold to our chest, so it's like our thing. This is how tokens should be launched, and we want to do this because our goal long term is really to bring self-regulation into this marketplace so we can get the governments out.
Sure.
So we want to show people a safe way of actually handling a launch, a safe way of actually handling a project, and actually being better for the projects. Because what I saw in the BSC space was activity that I don't blame the project leads for, honestly, But
Mm-hmm.
what these guys are doing is they've recognized that it's so volatile that they just launch as many projects as they possibly can, hoping
Yeah.
that one sticks, and then they focus all their attention to that. And so what we
Yeah.
want to do is give them a model that says, no, 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 that's not the right way. This is actually a way you can do this. It's
Yeah.
still, it's going to be far safer and more secure, and it's going to be better for your holders, and you have a better chance of actually hitting that success mile. And so we really want to use this as an example. I mean, the crazy thing to me is that this can be used for stuff that has nothing to do with crypto. You could literally just launch a business and have a revenue stream and say, look, I basically want to sell my future revenue to gain capital for the growth of the business. And once we get here's the crazy part. Once we get the loans in, it allows the creators of the projects access to their value so that they can build their projects without having to sell their tokens, which is that weird dilemma, that catch-22 that every project's in right now, because they need more capital to build. But if they sell their tokens, the community panics and freaks out on them.
Yes. Yeah.
So now they can take out a loan to themselves based on the value, grow their business, pay back the loan. It's beautiful.
That's what I just started doing. I don't sell any assets anymore. I take loans against the value of the assets, and wow, that's
sorry, I lost you for a second.
No, that's I mean, fucking hell. Like when I mean, wait, but okay. I don't. I'm sure you don't have an ICO date, but if you do an ICO,
25th.
Like, what was that? The 25th? Oh, sure. Okay. I'm just patiently waiting for him. Patiently waiting. Oh, cool. Cool, Laughing Truth. I'm glad you saw that. Yeah, that's it's something new. I was usually very anti-loan. Oh, okay. Hey, Crypto Sage. Thank you. Wait. So, guys, I noticed if I deepen my voice like this, my asthma doesn't strangle my lungs. If I go to my regular voice like this, I just start coughing like a maniac. So I'm deepening my voice as deep as I can. And for some reason, that puts enough pressure on my lungs to turn me not into a coughing mess. My asthma was so bad today. And I'm on a pretty potent steroid to keep it under control. Because man, my wife normally never really worries about me because I'm pretty durable, but she's actually worried, scared. So I'm a little worried too. I hope my asthma doesn't progress into anything worse. Another centralized token on Binance. Crypto never sleeps. Thanks, Crypto Sage. Crypto never sleeps. Another centralized token on Binance. How come? Yeah, I know. I'm doing my best to take care of myself. Thank you very much. Yeah, man, I'm doing all the right things, but this is the digestive thing, man. This isn't a digestive thing. It's something beyond that. It's just freaking lungs. Lungs are something I don't want to really play with. I'm kind of all right with injuring other parts of my body. My skull's really thick, but when it comes to lungs, man, that's something I don't ever want to be silly on. Looks like we're losing war on FUD. Hopefully we'll come back. Yeah, Brian's audio is kind of gone. Get into yoga nidra.
Can you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you.
Sorry, one of my wife's workers was calling me and needed help with something. So, where was I?
So hold on. Someone just said this, and I would like to hear your. So there's this guy, Crypto Never Sleeps. Seems like a nice person, but they just said it's another centralized token on Binance. So he wants reassurance that this is a decentralized token.
What do you mean centralized token on Binance?
That's what he said.
Centralized in what way? I mean, we're using Binance just because it's the
Yeah,
worst chain, but we'll be
yeah,
bridging out to other networks.
exactly. And since it's, I mean, I'm just thinking like, so if it's on the Binance smart chain, then it relies on the Binance consensus, right?
Yeah, so I think
Uh,
he's just upset that it's on BSC.
Maybe.
It,
Okay. So,
it's
or
irrelevant. We'll be on every network at some point.
yeah. So like it's starting off on Binance. Crypto
We're
never
starting
sleeps.
there because it's the worst environment. It's where it needs to happen.
There you go. Okay, great. So I'm a fan of that. And then but forget about centralized, but about tokenomics. So what would be the breakdown of the tokens? Like,
Well,
you know,
I want to answer this question because it says so your token keeps
yes.
increasing in value, but you only have to pay back what you borrowed, or do you have to pay back the value of the token? No, you only have to pay back what you borrowed.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
Um so anyway, like so what are the token distribution? Like how like what per like like what's the most that any one wallet could hold?
So we're tweaking that still.
Yeah.
I was supposed to finalize some of that today, but we had to push it out, mainly because originally when I started working on this, I was working with a very low circulating supply.
Yeah.
And then once we kind of got into it, I recognized that the token price would climb too fast and I was worried that it would get to the type of thing where people look at it like Ethereum today and just say, "Oh, that's too much. I'm out." And
Got
so
it.
we really want to keep it reasonable because part of our goal with the loan stuff actually is to basically create something that we see as a better offering than what like is out there for like payday lenders and stuff. So
Yes.
we want people in low income areas to feel
Mm,
safe buying into something like this at a cheap price, allowing it to grow for a bit, and then getting access to capital whenever they need it, when they're in a bind, their car breaks down or something like that, instead
mm.
of having to go to one of these payday lenders and basically losing their ass in the process.
Sure, sure. And paying ridiculous amounts of interest.
Oh, it's insane. We had a back in 2016 when Sweetbridge was looking to pilot a program here, doing something similar with auto loans, for title loans, basically. We got approval from the state of Arizona to run a pilot program, and so we started looking at what these guys were doing,
Mhm.
because they're regulated. But it was just gross. I mean, it was sick. They were basically, the regulations made it so that they couldn't charge more than like 300% annual APR or something. And so we looked across the board and they were all charging like 299. And it's like, come on, guys, get the fuck out of
Wow.
here. I mean, this is
Yeah,
gross.
that's
And they can
disgusting.
only do that because they're basically all saying, oh, well, these guys have nowhere else to go. So if we all charge 299, that's all they're going to be able to get. And so that's where they'll go. And it's like, that's sick. It's predatory. It's wrong. It needs to go.
Yeah. Adam Smith, he said like that when when the powerful interests get together, it's rarely ever for the good of the consumer.
No, it's not. And that's kind of what we're all about. So what we've created is actually
Hey, Crypto Ralphie, thank you for the roses. Sorry, you were saying?
so Testudo is an ecosystem.
Yeah.
A portion of this ecosystem is Testudo Views. So
Okay.
Testudo Views is really
Your volume just died. Your volume. Nope, nope, nope. No, no. I can't hear you.
oh, I heard
There
you.
we go. Okay,
Can you
there we
hear me?
go. Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
So Testudo Views is our marketing consulting. We're gonna basically the goal is we're gonna help projects be successful.
Okay.
That's what Testudo Views is all about. Um, so 50% of all the revenue from Testudo Views goes into that pocket to basically back the token.
Okay.
Testudo is an ecosystem of projects that will be running that are the entire goal for everything that Testudo does is to bring global utility to people. So
Okay.
we see this as an ecosystem where we want to create utility networks that allow people to do things. And
Okay.
so some of those we will funnel will be basically be new revenue streams we will funnel back into the token.
All right.
Um, but some of them.
His audio's gone. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, nothing. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. No, nothing. I got nothing. I can't hear you. I can't hear you, buddy. Oh, poor guy. There it is. It's back. It's back.
So, I swear to God, nobody ever calls me, and then as soon as I go on live, it's just like Jesus. So the goal there really is to create utilities, and as much as possible, we want to make those utilities basically either free or they pay you.
Okay.
So
I have a question though. What would it take for your platform to fail?
So that's a good question. I mean, within any of these projects, I think not getting not having people believe in the project really is the thing that causes them to die. Oh,
okay.
There?
So if people don't believe in the project, sure, that's every project. But like let's say Solana has a huge weakness because they get just killed by DDoS attacks. Like what weakness in your ecosystem can be exploited that can just result in something that looks like a rug pull or just a stab and then like a slow bleed to just inescapable demise?
Yeah, so as much as possible, a lot of that stuff we've tried to work its way out. Like the kind of rug pull concept. I mean, that's what the asset pool's for. That's the insurance policy, basically. So we, as much as possible, we have stuff in there that should cause our project not to be able to die quite like other projects. But really, I think that the biggest thing, the biggest blocker for us would be a lack of revenue.
Lack of revenue.
If there's a lack of revenue, basically flowing into the asset pool, it doesn't become as interesting. It still actually could be very popular just because there's also we also use a part of the tax to increase the revenue pool. Yeah. So there's stuff in there just in case to kind of pad the system.
Laughing Truth just brought this up. He said potentially things that can kill it: too rapid acceleration, such that the reserve doesn't matter. That's interesting.
Yes. That is actually a concern of ours. Is that essentially the project runs away from us and gets to the point where it's like, well, the floor is way down here, guys, and the LP price is way up here, and it's like, now there's some stuff that's one of the things that Laughing Truth is helping us with. So we have something that we're working on that's a variable tax concept that actually looks at the gap between the LP price and the floor price and increases the sales tax as the gap grows larger. But this is the piece that Laughing Truth did so well, and I'm so happy about, but is that we also want to look at velocity so that we understand how quickly that gap formed. And so if that gap forms really quickly, it's a pump. And so what that does is allows us to basically raise the tax during the pump so that if you're the first guys getting out after the pump and dumping your bags, we tax you heavily, which increases the floor. So as the chart goes down, the floor comes up and they meet.
Oh, I like that.
Right?
Hold on, my wife. Yes, sweetie pie. Sure. I'll fix it. Thanks, honey. I sound so authoritative, like, it's like, again, guys, I'm just keeping my voice deep so I don't go, like, remember when I told you how I introduced myself? Like, it may sound like I'm joking, but literally today, like, hey, my name's, and then, that's because of my asthma. So, like, I wasn't joking. It wasn't like I was like, like, just, I wasn't embellishing. I was literally just recounting what happened today. So, okay,
I get it.
That's an incredible fail-safe. That's an incredible fail-safe, and it'll discourage pumps.
Well, and that's what we're trying to do is build in fail safes. I mean, that's really what it is. It's we're trying to look at what's the activity that people are doing in the market,
Yeah.
and how do we basically curb that the negative activity and support the positive activity that we want to support. I mean, so part of Testudo Views, like our goal for our site, our website and stuff, is to act more like a dating site for investors and projects, where
Like
we're
it.
trying to match you guys up for your compatibility, trying to actually support the project. And so one of the things we'll also be looking at is trying to classify and group so that we can actually allow the investors to get
Mm.
into projects first, so that the trading activity can happen on top of them. Because we saw too many projects just dying right out the gate because they've mixed in traders with their investor groups. And as
Yeah.
soon as the first pump happens, those traders
All
can now
right.
pull out exponentially more value. And these are the
Yeah.
guys that basically just dump their bag. And it's like,
Yep.
look, you were never in this to begin with. Why were you even putting your money here?
Yep. Dude, that's
Yeah.
okay. So that's okay. So that sounds like you have a really good fail safe against outside influence from people who don't care or know anything about your platform. What are your fail safes against inside corruption?
Yes. So this is something I'm really excited about because I started thinking. So our marketing plan is basically to call these guys out.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to basically put out there that, hey, this is the behavior everyone's doing. It's really shitty. It shouldn't be here. And so I knew that there's some of these guys that are smart enough to basically do their back end dealings through not their main wallets, right? So
Yeah.
they'll be doing this on side wallets that they're so that they can expose their true wallet and say, oh, look, I'm not doing any of this. Now,
Yes. Yes.
if we then say, oh, well, you're doing this through a back end wallet, there's nothing stopping them from basically blaming us for doing the same thing, right? And
Yes.
so I started thinking about how do we curb that? So how do we get in front of that? And so one of the things that we are working on outside of Tokify, but with our own development team, is to make
Mhm.
it so that when we partner with a project,
Yeah.
we want to have a contract, basically, a smart contract that
Yeah.
issues contracts. So we will
Yeah.
issue you a contract for your project that is a web page on our website.
Okay.
And all of our services will be NFTs that need to be minted.
Okay.
And so the second you send an NFT for a service to the contract,
Yeah.
that contract is the service agreement between our two parties. So the second
Okay.
you've actually funded and paid for your service, it's public knowledge. So that was the closest
Mhm.
I could get to eliminating that, was to basically say, look, it, we're going to make it public as soon as it's available. So if you want to watch that and get in soon or whatever, you can do that. But everyone at least has the same playing field.
Yes.
And so there's no time in there for us to basically do anything.
Okay. All right. And then, but there's and Crypto Never Sleeps just said exploits in the code, but there's nothing you can do about the code of the smart contract, right?
Yeah, so we're working very hard to make sure that there aren't exploits in the code. So Tokify
Oh, so
themselves
you
are
can do
having,
something. You can do something about the exploit in the code. Okay. All
yes.
right.
So
Oh, I didn't know that.
Tokify is actually having their contracts all audited. So part of the and we'll audit them too. And so part of the goal there is to make it so that if a project is launched through Tokify, people understand the contract, they know what they're getting into, and they know that it doesn't have kind of shady business on the back end. And the goal really is to make that as secure as possible, because what we want to do is make it so that our whole like issuing contracts to our website kind of thing, that's something we'll have to do with the project to get them started. But what we really want is, if you launch through the Tokify platform, it automatically generates that and creates that page for you on our site. So all you have
Yeah.
to do is mint an NFT, drop it in
Yeah.
there, and then we say, cool, we're going to provide that service for you. But it also,
How
the
much
thing I
does
like
it
is it
cost?
also allows people at a glance to see what they've contracted with us, so that you
Yes.
can see the difference between two different projects. That it's like, oh, this project has basically, they've purchased a Twitter ad, they've purchased a
Hmm.
Facebook ad, they purchased a TikTok ad,
Yeah.
and they've never done a deep dive. They've never done a contract audit. They've never like done a
Yeah.
project audit, because we're going to do project audits where we actually KYC the people behind the scenes. We understand who they are, and we'll flat out tell you, we love the project. it's a great idea. There's only 2 people working on it. We think that that's a concern. They have a dev, but they don't have any sort of project management resources. They don't have any sort of web resources. They don't. And so those are the types of things we want to point out about projects, and people will have to buy that from us. And so it's like, if you aren't willing to put that sort of thing on the line, it's going to be public knowledge for everyone to just check our site and see.
Crypto never sleeps. Actually, there's 2 things I want to say. So Faz518, I muted you for asking a question because it was not related to the matter at hand. You're asking me about Ethereum. We're not talking about Ethereum. We're talking about War on FUD's ecosystem that he's building. Anyway, okay. Now, Crypto Never Sleeps just said if he finds a bug in the code, what's his bug bounty? And I think that's a good idea. Like, if
this is something we will be doing. So, in fact, we'll be doing it for other projects too. So the goal is to actually set aside a portion of our supply. So we're going to be doing a lot of giveaways, and part of that is intentional to actually help us for that runaway chart concept. So our giveaways won't be given out immediately. So we're giving away 1% of our total our total supply to basically people that follow the Twitter account. And
your sound died.
What about now?
There we go.
There we go. Okay. So when we do like that 1% giveaway, we'll be giving that out periodically throughout the year. And part of the reason that we want to do that is because it allows us. So if the chart just runs away from us, giving out our tokens, that there's going to be some people that just immediately turn around and sell that. So that can help us kind of bring things more in line. But I want to take a portion of our token supply and set it aside to offer to our community as a sort of bug bounty for people that buy services for us that are doing shitty things. So if you find a project that bought ads for us, and that's all they bought, and there's a problem in their contract that allows them to do something shitty, we actually want to be able to step in, reward that individual for what they found.
Yeah. It's okay.
Jesus Christ.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Dude, like, you're killing it. You're enlightening me. You're making me very bullish on your project. So.
Well, thank you. But basically,
of course.
Kill the ads, give that bounty to someone. And if I can, what I actually want to do is take a portion of the revenue from the more risky advertising and services we provide. So there'll be low-end services that basically are like what these guys are doing, in which case, look, we're not auditing your contract. We're not really engaged with you. You're just buying an ad space on our website or something. So anyone will be able to do that. And so I kind of want to take those services and from the mint, actually put some of that aside specifically so that if someone finds stuff with that project specifically, we can say, look, that's yours, man. Thank you.
So I just want to, I have some new people joining. So one, I just want to tell you, War on FUD, Crypto Never Sleep just said, I take back all the shit he said about you. So, that's what, don't worry about it. Don't worry. It's okay. And for anyone who's listening, War on FUD is making.
But I lost you.
I can't take. There we go. I got you. Oh. So War on FUD, everyone.
I feel like I lost you, but I feel like that was important.
No, you didn't lose me. War on FUD is making a crypto. He's making an entire platform, and I mean, it just like I know what he says. I can't recount it right now, but it seems like it has a lot of safeguards against internal and external corruption. It sounds like something that's built on stabilizing, tokens in the BSC ecosystem, which I think is pretty incredible. And it looks like they want to take a deep endeavor into finding bugs in their code and other platforms' codes, right? And so this guy he's part of a team, so is Laughing Truth, that is building a project. So the only questions I'm going to take are questions relating to him and what he's doing. Sorry, every 10, 15 minutes, I want to just like tell people what's going on.
Yeah, so I mean that's really the goal, is to give people an example and then allow them to kind of run with it. I mean, I have my expectation for this, and it almost feels like foreknowledge to me at this point. It's really weird. But my expectation is that we will have a similar growth pattern to what SafeMoon did. Because what they did was bring out something that was attempting, now it didn't do a great job, but attempting to get the actors in the system to do something that they wanted them to do, which was hold, by essentially giving them some reason to hold. Now, after that, reflection tokens just kind of became the norm, where it was just copycat after copycat. Now, what we're doing is actually inviting that. We want that sort of behavior because we think we have a safer model, but we built in way more than they did to basically help protect the ecosystem and protect your investors.
Your team is going to be fully doxed, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, wow. Okay. And do we have any venture capital backing?
No.
That's fine by me for now. It's a new project.
Fuck them. No, I'm dead serious. I would prefer not to actually have them involved. We had a hostile takeover at my dad's company after VC backing. There's absolutely no way I would touch any of their money.
Okay.
They can go get fucked. They're predators. They're sharks. They need to be taken out of this ecosystem. And in fact, people have no idea what VCs have done. It's disgusting. So what they've done is they've basically done what you've said. They bound it together and recognize that if they have all the control, they can set the terms. And so what they're doing now is they're setting. So it used to be that if you had money and you wanted to make money off of your money, there was one way to do it, which was you had to risk your money. VCs changed that.
Huh. Cool. Okay, so VCs
can you hear me?
I can hear you. VCs changed that.
Yeah,
I'm listening.
They've actually made it now to when they contract with a business, they've added in so many fail safes for themselves to protect their own ass into the contract, and these companies have nowhere else to go but to get money from them. And so what ends up happening is that no matter what happens, the VC wins. Fuck that game. I'm out.
Yeah,
no way.
That's not capitalism. That's not capitalism.
That's not capitalism, man. I don't support that in the least.
So one of my followers just asked what we're talking about here. I'll just give a really, really quick rendition. So my friend Warren Fudd here has... sorry, I have to deepen my voice for the asthma. My friend Warren Fudd here is creating... He has created a platform that is meant to stabilize the volatility in the BSC smart chain. And it's pretty much, to me, it sounds like it's meant for policing corruption, strengthening what's good, strong, but has weaknesses. Like that's like, I'll let you tell. Like, there's a whole
any project.
There's a lot of insurance. There's a lot of insurance against the failure of the token.
Yes,
that's the quickest summary I can come up with.
The easiest way to think of it is there's a built-in insurance policy. Now, there's all sorts of things we can do with that insurance now. That's kind of what allows for the interest-free loans and all sorts of other stuff.
Interest-free loans. That's nice. I'm a fan of interest-free loans.
Me too, my friend.
You know,
it's ironic to me because there's a few things that I find very ironic. When I joined Sweetbridge, I joined because my dad called me out of the blue. I still remember this phone call. And the first thing he said to me was, "How would you like to get an interest-free loan?" And I said, "Keep talking." And so this was always something we were going to do. And then it's ironic to me that the biggest video that I've made so far, the one that blew up the most,
it was the pretty much one with the dancing, where you know, like the one that we duetted.
I wish it was
that was your viral post, right?
No, it was the one where I don't even know who the guy was, but some guy was talking about the guy that made like $5 billion off of SHIB or whatever, and was like, oh, he's going to dump that on the open market and it's just going to tank the price. He's never going to be able to get anything out of it. And I was just like, that's insane. If you have that much of an asset, you don't put it on the open market. And so I said, collateralize it, do something. And everyone was just like, you can't collateralize a shitcoin. So guess what? I made a fucking shitcoin you can collateralize. And we're not going to charge you interest either. So fuck off.
There we go. I like that. It'd be funny if, like, let's say your coin takes off and they're like, what motivated you? And I'll be like, well, these fucking Shiba people.
Hey, what's up? Hold on one second. What's up?
Sorry. I just cursed with a child in his vicinity. I'm very sorry. Oh.
Can you go? Can you go dish up food? Why not? Did you not dish up food? When I was trying to go down, when I was trying to go downstairs, she didn't want. Sorry, guys, I have to handle this for a second.
It's okay. You do what you gotta do.
Can you entertain everyone for like 5 minutes?
Hey, yeah, sure, guys.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So let's see some dance. No, can't really do too much dancing. Oh man, yeah, I'm really enjoying this live too. War on FUD really is educating me just on what's possible. Hey, oh guys, Crypto Pancake is here. So Crypto Pancake is my current favorite NFT artist. On any kind of social media platform. So everyone should take a look at her TikTok page and her Twitter page and her Instagram page and just check out her stuff. Be very active with what she posts. I think she's like shadow banned or something because she makes such better content, like much better crypto content than a lot of people, a lot of NFT artists. But for some reason, her views are low, even though her content is interesting, it's intelligent, it's engaging. So I highly recommend checking out Crypto Pancake. And Crypto Pancake, just making sure I can buy your NFTs on on OpenSea in the Polygon ecosystem, right? Because I am sorry, if I don't speak in an incredibly deep voice like this, my asthma starts to really tear up my lungs. So I'm talking in a very deep voice. But yeah, I just want to make sure, Crypto Pancake, that I can buy your NFTs in the Polygon ecosystem. Okay. All right. Yeah, I will. I'm moving stuff around. It might take me another week, but I definitely want to buy some of your work. Laughing Truth. Yeah, absolutely. A 10-minute call away from social media if I'm open to that. Sure. No problem. We can definitely talk. Yeah. So let's find each other on Twitter because I don't want to put any of my personal information on TikTok. I don't want to give my phone number out or anything. But yeah, we can definitely talk. Laughing Truth. I just want to make sure you're in the United States, right? Like you're not. For some reason, I feel like you're British. No, you're in the U.S. I've seen your posts. Hey, whale watcher. Nice. Sorry for the cough. Nice to see you, whale watcher. Good to see you too. You don't Twitter. Okay. So I would like to communicate with you, but I don't trust TikTok at all. So we don't do any other. There should be something we can do. Okay, well, I would like to. Okay, we'll find a way to get in touch. Your info is in bio. Okay, Signal. That's fine. To stay anonymous, you can call people through Discord. Yes, Discord. Boom. All right, we can do this through Discord. Laughing Truth, are you okay with Discord? Crypto Ralphie. Yeah, just Warren Fudd is just taking care of his kids. He's like that's it. Everything's fine.
My son understands that this is important, and so he's trying to curb the behavior of everyone else in the house, but then everyone else in the house is trying to call me, so that's why I kept getting calls.
Oh, I see. Well, it's very good of your son trying to help.
Yeah.
Is he? I have a feeling he's very empathic.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know why. I have a feeling he's very empathic and he feels like a sense of mutual duty. Yep. He's probably very sensitive to like people's feelings. So
he took all this very personally. So it's
yeah.
I'll be dealing with that after this.
That's fine, but that's truly a gift to have a son with that ability. If if you raise him, and I'm sure you will, with like strength and kindness, but also that room for him to be that kind of sensitive person that'll truly strengthen his spirit. Then
he's the only one of my kids that meditates, and I fucking love it.
Wow,
I know.
Wow, I love it. That's you're blessed with a good kid, with a good son. That's something.
It's rare.
It is, especially when they're kids.
Yeah. So
okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean the goal of what we'll be doing really is to this is really just a utility to try to actually help launch
Yeah.
other projects and help build
Yeah.
stability into the ecosystem.
Yeah.
And so we'll be taking that actually and trying to then introduce self-regulation into the market, trying to
Yeah.
actually help people trust
Okay.
what they're getting involved in. I mean, that's Testudo is really all about strength through unity. I mean, the name is based on so it's the old Roman legion formation of the tortoise
The
formation where
turtle.
you lock shields together. And
Oh
the
yeah.
whole point is that you can take on a vastly superior enemy by
Yeah.
basically having that unity. So we want
Yeah.
to build that unity into the system. Um, and then as we do that, we want to then just come out with other areas. So essentially, we're taking one of them that kind of fell into our lap, this whole loans
Mhm.
concept, and saying, look, we're gonna disrupt the predatory loan environment. And
Yeah.
then once we're done there, we're going to look at the next environment and say, okay, what's next? What do we hit next? And we already know what's next, actually. Um,
Really.
it's,
Okay.
yeah, so engineer and I have been working on what's next for a while. And so,
Oh, cool. You're
yeah,
working. The engineer. He's another legit bomb
I
diggity smart
love
person.
engineer. It's, and so the next thing we're going to basically take on is social media.
Wow.
The and we have a design for that I think is incredible. And so but if we want to do it right, we probably should use our own chain and other things. So that's
Yeah.
what this kind of helps support. Um, and so,
Can I get another question?
yeah,
So, you're gonna have your own token, your own ecosystem, and
potential
now
TV show too.
potential. Fucking hell, that's awesome.
We have
That's
one of our guys is an ex Disney producer, so
oh.
he has the connections. We're going to work with them.
God
Think Shark
bless.
Tank, but friendly
Wonderful. So now
for the good of all.
you will also be evaluating other BSC tokens, right? Like
Not just
other
BSC.
cryptos. Okay, but for now you're starting there because that's where the biggest poop show is. So
Yeah.
what will make you
We'll take any
choose?
project from the beginning, though, from a review or promotion perspective.
So now, can it be a project that's about to launch on the BSC chain in the
Yes,
BSC ecosystem,
absolutely.
or
In
something
fact,
that's already there?
so we'll have product offerings for a whole host of services, but our goal is to kind of run everything from inception all the way through. So we'll have product offerings for the entire lot. So if you want to engage with us to actually, in fact, if you just have an idea for something and you want to
Mhm.
engage with us to bring it to life, and you have nothing else but like I've got the idea and I've got capital or something,
Yeah.
we will allow you to basically do that through our ecosystem. But if that's kind of what you're looking for, we also have to be on board. So it would
Yes.
have to be something that we would like to do or we think the public needs to have.
Okay. That's
In
and
fact,
okay. So
that's what the show is all about. The show is essentially
yes.
finding people with those ideas of how to utilize crypto to help humanity, and we
Yeah.
will leverage our ecosystem then to bring that to life.
Okay. Now, you said your ICO is the 25th. So I
Yeah,
talk a lot about Algorand, but I'm not going to
there'll be
mention
a stealth
anything.
launch too, though. Our
What was that?
marketing plan is fucking sick. I love it. So,
So, all right, like now, the one thing I know is that there is a chance that Algorand may be safe from SEC scrutiny because their ICO was a Dutch auction. So, is
mhm.
your ICO like? Are you setting the price for your coin? Are you going to do it the Dutch auction way and let the market determine the price?
We're still looking at models mainly because you had mentioned that before, and so I kind of looked at that and was like, "Oh, okay, maybe we could do something like a Dutch auction or something."
One
Um,
second. 1 second. 1 second. I'm so sorry. Okay. Well, no. Just give me 5 minutes. Okay, my wife gave me the 5 minute timer. So you were saying, sorry, Dutch auction. I'm just very happy that you thought about the Dutch auction because of one of my posts.
yeah, no, I like the idea of looking at different models to kind of to
It'll
bring the
protect you.
thing
It'll
out.
protect you from a lot of regulatory scrutiny
Yes.
because
Now,
if the market determines your price. Oh, also, Crypto Keeper is here. Like, so thank you very much, Crypto Keeper and Crypto for Change and OX Spectre and Whale Watcher and Crypto
Oh, nice.
Pancake. Thank you, all these wonderful people for joining and sending likes and just being a part of all this. You know, and Crypto Keeper, I'm talking with my friend Warren Fudd. He's created a platform, and it's meant to bring stability to, for right now, the Binance Smart Chain, the Binance ecosystem, but he wants to expand it to all of the ecosystems. It like puts a lot of insurance, like true insurance, behind the price of the token that'll protect the token from any massive dumps or massive pumps. So that's just there's a whole bunch more that's going on right now. I just can't remember it all because I'm also like, I don't know. I have never been diagnosed, but everyone I've met has been like, do you have like ADD or ADHD, or are you bipolar, or, you know,
Welcome
did
to
you
the
drink a lot when
neurodivergent
you were...
community, man. I love it.
Oh yeah, right here. Yeah, I just gotta find
I'm
my
banding them all
diagnosis
together to build something better.
so I know who
Because
to
the
like.
system wasn't made for us, man.
Oh no, no way, no way, no, no,
Yeah.
no. People thought, you know what the funny thing was? People thought that I was like special when I was a kid, but then like I would like learn a language like really quickly,
Yeah.
or just
And
memorize
you
all the
surprise
presidents
everyone,
and the
right?
years that they served. You know, they'd be like, what the, you know. So that's the, yeah. So anyway, so I have 3 more minutes. Okay, all right. Don't murder me with your eyes. Okay, I have 3 more minutes.
That's fine. Yeah, but I mean, our goal is really just to set an example. I mean, that's kind of our real true passion, and then to use that example to help build things for other people. And so I want to make sure that our launch is done properly. I mean, we do have some marketing stuff that I think is great. I mean, we'll be launching a week before our actual launch. We'll be launching a version of this token that is not revenue backed, so it's just tax based. And we'll be doing
Okay.
that as a stealth launch.
Oh,
So
right.
we won't be telling anyone.
Okay.
And I will announce a scavenger hunt on my TikTok
Okay.
to see who can find it first.
All right.
And
So you know what I want to do? I want to go on. I want to find everything I can. I want to find all your Twitter contacts on, you know, with your platform, your ecosystem. I'll follow. And is there any more? Is there any paperwork I could look into about your project? Because I would like to start talking about it at greater detail.
yeah, I'm working on finishing up the white paper right now. It's just in text form is the thing, and so I'm just trying to make it look pretty, but I'm not very good at that.
That's fine. Well, if you ever
I can
lose
send
patience,
you the text form though if you want.
yeah, that's fine. Do that, and I'm probably gonna ask you a lot of questions because, you know, like I like certain things I just need to like go over in my head over and over, and I'm gonna frustrate you, but that's gonna be fine. And but I'm excited about this. And now,
thanks, man.
yeah,
I am
and
too.
where can people purchase this token?
So it would be PancakeSwap. We're still working out the details for the pre-sale launch, but it will be available on PancakeSwap once it's launched.
I want to get in on the pre-sale. Just, you know, tell me what I got to do. Do I have to show more foot stuff, or you know, like what?
I might request a few feet pictures, but you'll have to
Okay,
take the socks off.
I'll get the special silver nail polish. You know, like.
There you
All
go.
right. Well, all right. So I gotta go. It was so great talking to you, guys. Give Warren Fudd
Thank you for having me, man. It was wonderful. I appreciate it.
Check out his page. Find out everything you can. Check out Laughing Truth. Because he's part of this project. Let's stay aware of this. Let's stay aware. This is something that sounds like we can all believe in this because it's promoting some kind of like benevolent governance into crypto. And let's see where we can take this. All right, everyone. It was really great talking to you. Really, really just wonderful.
Thank you
I feel
so
like I'm a
much,
part
man.
of this already. Take care, man. Bye.
All right.